I tried my best when I was first confronted with that universal question, what is love, to give an answer. And it's actually quite funny because people keep asking me, what is love? And I just said, listen to the song. I already gave you the answer.
What's up, y'all? I'm Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, it's Steve McRae.
Hey, I'm Josh from the band Need to Breathe.
I'm Olivia Lunny.
We are so excited to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show, Akon. Hi.
What up, Kels?
Hey, I'm Judy Gold.
And I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show.
This is Jordan, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm Rob, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show right now.
Jealous?
We are absolutely thrilled to welcome our next guest to the Kelly Alexander Show. He has legions of fans right around the world who have loved so many of his songs. Of course, What Is Love? I Miss You, Life, the list goes on and on. We are thrilled to have Haddaway. Haddaway, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
So we have many things to talk about. I did just want to ask you, being born in Trinidad and Tobago and then moving to different parts of the world, do you think having so many different environments that you lived in has influenced you as an artist?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It also allows you to see many different societies in different ways. But it's still up to you to what you make out of it. And a lot of times you find yourself surrounded by individuals who don't look like you. But should that influence you? No, actually not. Ah.
Now, talk to us about, people are obviously absolutely in love with What Is Love, and the fact that it's remained so relevant and so beloved all these years later. What do you
Never
think
heard of it.
What do you
Never.
think it
What
is?
is what?
Not, what do you think? What do you think it is about the song that still resonates with your fans and new fans?
It's the real deal. It's strong melodies coming right at you, simplicity that everyone can sing to, and a situation that everyone can relate to. And I tried my best when I was first confronted with that universal question, what is love, to give an answer. And it's actually quite funny because people keep asking me, what is love? And I just said, listen to the song. I already gave you the answer.
That's amazing. And it's funny. I was speaking to Crystal Waters a couple of months ago. She has a new album coming out, and we talked about how social media, like particularly TikTok for her, like she's now known as the TikTok lady because people have found her songs again. That like new like young fans, like 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds. They found her song. Have you found the same thing with What Is Love, that you have these like new legions of fans that are finding your music on TikTok?
Well, I hope so, but I have to tell you, I'm terrible. I am. It's not about laziness. It's like I like to be live. I like to be on stage. I like to perform and move on. Um, I am not the individual who sits doing things like this. I'd rather meet my fans one on one. I'd rather have a hall full of them. I'd rather do autographs and photos and hang out and do charity events and good laughter. I kind of feel it's not that personal when I'm, you know.
Hmm. Understood.
So
Understood.
I don't want to jump on anyone's thing and say it's not my thing, but I'm kind of 50-50 with that, and I'm especially with AI and things like that. No, no. I love our science, and I love how far we've gotten, but I still am really old school on certain things, and I suspect that's why the old school music is still celebrated in such a way.
Do you find that music from the 90s and the early 2000s is like a genre unto itself?
Yes, yes, definitely, and I mean, we all grew up with the music influence from the 70s and the 80s, so we could take from that, and my biggest hero, from Prince to Sting to Annie Lennox, Eurythmics, all of these bands that influenced so much in my music. I just tried my best to carry on what they were doing with a stronger. I tried to be as strong in melodies that you just can't forget it. That it
Mhm.
just repeats in your head. And I think we did a good job. If you listen to guys like Dr. Alban, who I had the pleasure of many years working with, and is a dear friend of mine, when you hear songs like "It's My Life," if you hear Ace of Base, All That She Wants, if you hear Mr. Vane, all of these strong European, Swedish, German productions that we did, and it resonates everywhere in the world, and we're very happy about that.
What do you think the main difference is between like Eurodance versus, let's say, like house music from Chicago or from New York coming out around the same time?
Well, Chicago and New York were actually 80s. They were doing it that the 80s, and they had rhythms that we didn't have. But they actually took rhythms that we did have in the 70s. If you follow bands like Kraftwerk, that would be for you if you're speaking English, Kraftwerk, Kraftwerk, from Düsseldorf, Germany. And they were there 72, 73, and they were doing some amazing things on the computer and giving us synthy sounds that we never had before. So it's kind of a boomerang across the ocean back and forth. And I think we got the best time about 89, 90 to about 2002, 2003. Then it just that European dominance fell away again.
What's your thoughts on EDM these days? Like, because again, I was speaking to Crystal and she said that it's missing a bass line. So what do you think?
Oh, definitely, I agree with her. That's the groove is not there. Yeah, it doesn't have the soul that it used to have. So I'm I'm kind of confused. Song structures today are not really song structures, and there we're going to have a lot of political debates of what is songs, what is music, what is that, what is love. But
Speaking,
life will never be the same.
yeah,
Life is changing.
it's
Oh
true.
boy, that was cheesy.
Speaking of what is love, when you were in the studio, Haddaway, working on the track, did you know early on that it could go, that it was going to go? Did you have like a special feeling about the track?
My first partner, Alex Strasser, called me about 11:30 in the evening, 23:30, and I went into the studio and we started working on What Is Love around 1 o'clock in the morning. And we just started to throw some melodies on a track. And it's actually quite funny because the original version they wanted a ballad. And I just thought we needed to pay the bills and get someone off our backs. And when we delivered it the next day around 1600 in the daytime, the studio owner said, "Eh, not really what I want. It's not really my thing." And really funny, his wife, who I didn't really get along with, said, give it a chance. Let's hear it again. We heard it a couple times. 2 days passed, and she said, "Look, I'll give you about 5,000 Deutschmarks for the song," which was equivalent to about 2,500 US. And I said, "No, no, 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 I don't want to sell it. No, 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 no." And back then, I had this weird feeling that it's kind of, it's just something that just clicked that said, this works. Because my old, there was a version at least with the same hook line, not the same melody, but the name "What Is Love" from Howard Jones. The "What is love anyway," and that was '83. And I thought, okay, Howard, I'm gonna make my version, and I'm gonna give you an answer. And it was just too good to say no to, and had to work hard to get it where it is, really hard. And then we had the extra push because of Clive Davis. And Clive, wow, there's a lot to say about that. I could ramble on forever about it. I'm very, truly blessed because of those things happening.
Are you still in contact with Clive today?
I haven't seen Clive for almost 14 years,
Wow.
and yeah, they we were having a discussion about bringing Whitney back and all of that, and that was the last I saw of Clive, and yeah, about 14 years to be exact.
What does it feel like, or when the song took off, were you able to enjoy the ride, or was it just trying to keep your head above water? Because I'm sure everyone wanted Haddaway right around the planet.
Well, you know that the first 3 years it was a mission impossible. You were doing 130, 140 shows plus promotion. So that means 200 days in the year, I was not in a normal state of mind. I was just there. And you had to be fit. You had to be an individual who was not argumentative because there were many things that you didn't like, but you had to do it. And it was a part of the business. And the most realistic thing about it, I always told myself, it's not going to kill me. In the beginning, you really don't see any money. You understand? You get money short for your live shows and all of that. And I was really stubborn. I didn't want to sign. I didn't. And Clive helped me out in a lot of way, and everyone at BMG, they were very, very professional of that. But record companies do their job, earning their money, you know. And I think my bumps made me what I am. And when you look back, it's not that long ago. It's just a couple of years now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just a few years ago.
Did you find, when you were out performing, especially at that time, that like your fans were going to stick with you because it feels like you really built a community, like you and other house and Euro artists at the time.
You don't really know that until you meet them. And then when you're standing on stage, especially when you come to a country like Canada, for example, you don't expect. I, we just left from Victoria, Vancouver, all the way across to like in the middle of, I mean, middle of nowhere, oil country, if you understand what I mean, and Grand Union, places like that, snowstorms and all of those. It's already 2 years that we haven't been to Canada, but my last visit was blizzard, blizzard, blizzard. And I'm hoping my best to do not only Montreal, but all the way Quebec City, all the way down to Toronto, even Hamilton, all of the areas that I used to play golf in and rediscover. It's been a while.
Let's talk a little bit about Montreal because Montreal obviously has a Euro flavor to it because, we are a French city. So what is Montreal to Haddaway?
Well, first of all, there's only I would definitely say a very strong French culture. And like I said, I used to do so much motorsports, and we used to go there with Chateauneuf and walk around. I mean, it's a beautiful city, a beautiful city. I mean, you have one of the most beautiful domes of the world, truly.
Mhm.
And I hope that people know what a dome is. It's a cathedral. And yeah, and also I had the pleasure of being there when they were shooting. Robert De Niro was shooting uh, with Edward Norton and himself. They were in the old city shooting. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was a crime movie, and we were there in the middle of it. We weren't extras, but they were zipping past us like crazy. We're just in awe. How can they allow this? And no, I must admit, yeah, I've enjoyed that city very, very much, and I can't wait to get back.
Amazing. When, again, What Is Love blew up, and obviously over the years, it's been covered, it's been used in so many different places, which I'm sure is good news for you. Is there one or two of those, placements that you just are so grateful for or really mean something to you?
Well, yeah, I'm the real McCoy. I stick to the original, you know, and it's been a pleasure to work with Eminem and Dr. Dre and all of the boys. And I met Dre at Miami Airport, and he had the idea. And I thought, oh, it was just a short minute of blah, blah. 6 months later, there we were, you know, no love. What is love? And yeah, David Guetta put a little bit more money on the cake. But I think if you speak to all the fans, new or old, they're going to say the old version, the original version, and I have to admit I'm very, very, very loyal to my fans. I try my best to give them at least 3 to 4 minutes of talking time face to face. And if you guys want to do that, we can do that. I'm open for that.
Amazing. When you are out performing,
Yeah.
like all these years later, like what still gets Haddaway up on stage and like pumped up to do all these performances around the world?
I love what I do, and I love seeing the people. And it's sometimes you experiment. You one night you do a song that's not a part of your repertoire. The other night you deliver two or three new songs and see how they react to them and speak to them and really get their feedback. My new album, Lift Your Head Up. You just have to talk to the people and get the vibe back and say, this is something new. Tell me what you really think about it. And it's going to sound like you've heard it before. Trust me. And by the time you're halfway through the song, they're celebrating with you. So that's the best part. Just reading the people.
Hope you're enjoying our interview with Haddaway. We'd love for you to like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow the channel and let more people know that we are out there. We really appreciate the support. And some more good news is the fact that we have an interview coming up with 90s Euro dance group La Bouche, who of course have hit songs like Be My Lover and Sweet Dreams. So please like and subscribe.
What is your opinion on how sometimes in certain genres of music they look, I don't know if look down is the right word, but sometimes there's judgment on dance music, saying it's not serious, it's made by computers, like all that kind of stuff. What's your thoughts on maybe the lack of respect sometimes for dance music around the world?
Well, I have a band and we play everything acoustically live, or I can do my half playback show where all vocals are there and all of that stuff. Um, You see, the best thing about being a musician is that you can deliver it in any which way. And I will tell any individual if they're listening to Muddy Waters of the late 40s and 50s, all the way to modernized Lady Gaga. Exactly that. Gaga can deliver the greatest dance track, but she can also sit behind the piano and do the same thing. And I'll remind them that I'm the same way. And I don't believe in, again, let them chew their fat, let them say their things. I know what I am, and I dare them to reverse it. I want to see them do what I do, but I'll gladly do what they do anytime.
Amazing. When you come to Montreal
Yes,
crowds, as you know, are very energetic. What can they
yes.
expect from you, and what are you excited to see with our Montreal crowds?
Just celebrate and have a good time. And then their songs are ballads. There are songs where also that love is needed. There's also these middle grooves where you should just groove and enjoy. It's not always boom, boom, boom with me. I
Hmm.
like to do, different things. There is a variety of entertainment, and it's supposed to be that way. I don't like to have every song sounding the same. And I like to pass on political messages, and I like to pass on love messages and information messages. My music is not doomsday, and I don't believe in that.
Do you have a message for your Montreal fans, Haddaway?
Canadian cowboys, our French Montreal, Mesdames, Messieurs, attention, Monsieur Haddaway, arrivez, we are coming, huh? We are coming, we are coming.
Perfect. We cannot wait. And just a couple of quick questions for you. I always like to do
Yes,
this at the end of my interviews.
yes,
If you could collaborate with another artist, let's say like a Lady Gaga, a top 40 artist these days, who would that be and why?
definitely Gaga. I'm being just spoke on by the other side, excuse me. He's okay. I don't mind him. I like him. Actually, I like Bruno Mars. He's pretty cool. Yeah, there's definitely Lady Gaga or Bruno Mars because again, Bruno has some most amazing ballads. Lady Gaga has some of the most amazing ballads. I like people who are aware in society. I like people who are not just empty shells, who would just beating the drum. I like different things, and definitely those would be two people I'd immediately say. In the past, it was Annie Lennox, definitely, and definitely Prince. I would have given an arm and a leg to do something with Prince, but unfortunately, Maestro is no longer with us.
Is there, like, if you had to listen to only three artists until the end of times, streaming or what have you, what three artists would need to be on Haddaway's playlist?
Well, I just said two of them.
Okay.
I will say I have to put a band in there that I grew up with that I can't stop listening to, and that would be Led Zeppelin because Jimmy Page, heavy chords, wow, and Mr. Bonham, probably the best drummer of all times. And I'm going to put the second best drummer of all time with that. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say four. I'm going to say the Police, of course, Sting and the Police, and I'm going to say Lady Gaga. I'm really very impressed. And I'm Bruno. I gave you a pat on the back, but I'm going to have to slip Prince in there.
Do you listen
Truly,
to Top 40 radio, Haddaway? Like, what do you listen to a lot?
that European top 40 is really very limited, especially when you're in countries like Italy or Germany or Austria, where I am most of the time, and France. They tend to just repeat exactly what they say. We are top 40, and they play the top 40 songs. And it becomes 30 or 40 songs that's repeated constantly. That bores me. I tend to switch back to 90s channels, 80s channels, and I do that a lot. I want to know what the newest hits sound like, but I get confused a lot, and I become old. I become an old person and switch back. Sorry.
That's all good. Is there a 90s, let's say, dance song apart from yours that you wish you had written or were a part of? Like, is there something that sticks out that you wish you
Wish.
had? Or just like it would have been fun to know, like, yeah, I wrote that, or even a top 40. Because I was also speaking to Crystal, and she had mentioned she knew right away as soon as she heard the Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars song "Die with a Smile." She's like, "That's gonna get a Grammy," and of course, of course, it did.
My favorite from her is Poker Face. Poker Face is just wow. That wow. And definitely yeah, I spoke before of my business partner and friend and studio colleague, co-writing partner, Dr. Alban. I actually wish that I love It's My Life. I really That's a track that's something I wish that was mine. Um, we spoke about it many times. That's just clean and respect.
Amazing. And I have to ask you this. Is there like what is always in your fridge? What is always in Hathaway's fridge?
Oof. Broccoli, beans, sprouts, paprikas. Um, my morning, I'm being pointed at my morning yogurt shot. Gotta have it. Gotta
Okay.
have a yogurt shot in the morning. Must. It's the best for your stomach and the best to keep the fat line down. Um, and lots of water, lots of water, lots of water. And uh, in the refrigerator is one thing, but across the hall, I go completely unhealthy. It has to be chocolate, milk chocolate with nuts.
Oh,
Very
perfect.
important. Very important.
Amazing. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been such a joy.
Thank you very much. And I hope to see you when we're there. Yes?
Yes, sir. You are definitely going to see me there. And I'll just tell the audience right now that if you want to learn more about Haddaway, make sure you check out his website, haddawaychannel.com, and you'll grab all of his social media handles.
Thanks a lot. And follow me, please, on Instagram. Would love to see it. Okay? Cheers.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, dear.
Hey, it's Kelly Alexander, and thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kelly Alexander Show, so you are the first in line for all the cool content coming your way.